Imagine a timeline, so vast, it makes human existence almost invisible. In this timeline, your entire life doesn't even last a second. It's just a fraction of a moment. Now think bigger, human history itself. Everything we've ever built, discovered, and recorded fits into the final blink of Earth's story. So, what was happening before us, across 4.6 billion years? And how do scientists make sense of something this enormous? Through one of the most powerful tools in earth science. The Geological Time Scale. Subscribe and let's explore Earth's story on Earth Diary. The Geologic Time Scale, or GTS, is basically Earth's timeline. A way to organize 4.6 billion years of chaos into something we can actually understand. Let us just think about that number for a second. 4.6 billion years. A number so huge, it's almost impossible to visualize. To make things easier, geologists use shorter time units like GA for billion years ago, MA for million years ago, and KA for 1,000 years ago. But here's the important part. These 4.6 billion years of Earth's history were not all the same. Earth didn't begin as the blue planet we know today. It started as a semi-molten world, constantly bombarded by meteorites. Then, slowly, over immense stretches of time, oceans formed, continents appeared and drifted. Mountains rose, and were worn down by erosion. Sea levels repeatedly rose and fell. The atmosphere transformed. And life evolved, from simple microscopic cells to complex ecosystems. And, all of these changes, became chapters in Earth's long geologic story. To truly understand this scale, let's make it more relatable. Imagine compressing Earth's entire 4.6 billion year history into a single 24-hour day. At midnight, the Big Bang begins the universe itself. By around 4 a.m., our solar system starts forming from swirling gas and dust. Earth forms early in the morning, around 6 a.m. And soon after, a giant impact creates the Moon. By around 8 to 8:30 a.m., the first oceans begin to form. And not long after that, the earliest microscopic life appears in those ancient seas. For billions of years, simple microbes dominate Earth. Slowly, photosynthetic organisms begin releasing oxygen into the atmosphere. Then, around late morning to noon, Earth experiences the Great Oxidation Event. A dramatic rise in atmospheric oxygen that helps pave the way for more complex life. By the afternoon, the first complex cells, called eukaryotes, appear. And by early evening, simple multicellular organisms finally evolve. Then, at around 9 p.m., comes the Cambrian Explosion, when most major animal groups suddenly appear in the oceans. Soon after, plants and animals begin colonizing land. By around 10 p.m., amphibians and early reptiles spread across the planet. At around 10:45 p.m., dinosaurs arrive and dominate Earth for millions of years. Until an asteroid impact wipes them out. After that, mammals rapidly diversify. And humans? Modern Homo sapiens appear only, in the final few seconds, before midnight. While all of recorded history, civilization, and agriculture occupy only the final fraction of a second. Put simply, all of recorded human history occupies only about 0.000001% of Earth's timeline. When you see it like this, deep time stops feeling abstract and starts feeling real. And here's the fascinating part. Scientists know all of this, because Earth has been recording its own history, for billions of years, in rocks. So, how did scientists figure all of this out? And, how did they reconstruct Earth's massive timeline, in the first place? It became possible through two major breakthroughs in geology: relative dating and radiometric dating. Using relative dating, geologists arranged rocks, in the sequence they formed, from oldest to youngest, creating a rough timeline of Earth's history. Then later, radiometric dating allowed scientists to assign actual numerical ages to those events. The result? Scientists can now assign real numbers, millions and even billions of years, to Earth's history. As scientists started discovering the ages of rocks and minerals across Earth's surface, they began organizing all of that information into a structured timeline. And that's how the Geological Time Scale was born. Scientists arranged different chapters of Earth's history into a sequence, based on major geological and biological changes through time. Here's how that structure works. The biggest chapters in Earth's history are called eons, spans of time, lasting nearly 1 billion years. Earth's history is divided into 4 major eons: Hadean, Archean, Proterozoic, and Phanerozoic. The current eon, the Phanerozoic, began around 539 million years ago. Its name comes from Greek words meaning visible life, because rocks from this time contain abundant fossils of complex organisms. But eons are still incredibly large spans of time. So scientists divided them further into smaller units called eras. Eras represent major worldwide changes in life forms. For example, the Phanerozoic eon is divided into 3 eras: Paleozoic meaning ancient life, Mesozoic meaning middle life, and Cenozoic meaning recent life. These eras are subdivided even further into periods, which represent smaller evolutionary and geological changes. For example, the Mesozoic era is divided into Triassic, Jurassic and Cretaceous. And finally, each period is divided into even smaller units called epochs. For instance, the Cenozoic contains several epochs that divide recent Earth history into much finer detail. So, the geological time scale is organized like this: eon, era, period, epoch. From the biggest divisions of time to the smallest. But there's something interesting about the geological time scale. Precambrian time, the time before the Phanerozoic eon, alone represents nearly 88% of Earth's entire history, yet it appears far less detailed than later time periods. That's because most rocks from that time are extremely old, heavily altered, and contain far fewer fossils. So, the further back we go, the fewer records survive, and the less detailed Earth story becomes. Now you might be thinking, why should we care about something this ancient? Well, because the geological time scale is not just about the past. It helps us understand the world we live in today. First, Earth's engine. Plate tectonics, volcanoes, earthquakes, and climate change are not just part of the past. They are still shaping Earth right now, and the planet is constantly changing. Second, life's resilience. Earth has survived 5 major mass extinctions. At one point, nearly 96% of species disappeared, yet life recovered and evolved again. But there's also a warning in that history. Past climate changes happened over millions of years. Today, many changes are happening far faster, largely because of us. And that's why Earth's past matters. So, the geologic time scale isn't just about rocks and fossils. It's the story of our planet. 4.6 billion years of fire, oceans, evolution, and extinction. And maybe the most important realization is this. We are not the center of Earth's story. Just the latest chapter. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and stay with the channel. Because next, we'll begin exploring each eon and era, and uncover how Earth truly evolved through deep time. See you in the next one.